to probably...
Before you get to this, I just want to say something, because one of my favorite people on the face of the planet was on Monday Night Raw for a whopping 30 seconds tonight, and he still cracked me the fuck up. That being Charlie Day from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Monday Night Raw was
that's right.
segments with Ice Cube and Charlie Day from the movie Fist Fight. They were promoting. They had a couple of little segments, little commercial type thingies with Miz and Maurice. And Charlie Day just, God, again, every time he's on TV, in a movie, on anything, he just cracks me up. It's freaking hilarious.
And all I can say...
Like Maurice, they're basically saying like he's gonna get his ass kicked, and they're like, oh, use this as a weapon, and she throws him a can of hairspray, and he's like, oh, what the hell's this gonna do? And then he sprays himself in the face, and he's just like, ah!
Oh man! So now to take a quote from you, it's like, Charlie Day, you know what happens when you have a good funny movie? You know what happens? You just made my list. Definitely gonna be watching that. That comes out. Fist Fight comes out this Friday, you guys. Starring Ice Cube and Charlie Day. Definitely don't want to miss out on that.
Oh, I think that's going to be... Well, I think Tracy Morgan's in it.
That's right.
Jillian from Workaholics is in it. She's been in a lot of stuff lately.
Mm-hmm.
She's freaking hilarious. Yeah, there's a lot of people that are in that movie, but I don't know. Like, Ice Cube's done those movies with, like, Kevin Hart. He's really good at comedy movies. I mean, I even go back to like Friday, which those movies were hilarious. But yeah, him and Charlie Day, I feel like that's just gonna be like a match made in heaven on the big screen.
Well, we're gonna find out more on Friday. Now, well, I actually want to make this quick comment before we get into the Festival of Friendship. I don't know if you saw this, but when they announced Teddy Long to be in the Hall of Fame, which rightfully deserving so. He's going to make tag team matches during his Hall of Fame speech. I guarantee it right now. Oh, man. What's funny was that... Oh, man. Teddy Long... Oh, man. I really want Teddy Long to come back now, just so he can do that.
Doing some of those just gigantic suits. And I always said his head was like a peanut M&M. And I love Teddy Long, though. I remember going back and watching WCW where he was managing teams, and then he was a ref for a while, and then now he's general manager of like SmackDown for a long, long time. And he's the king of tag matches. He's the king of fatal five-way matches. And now he's going to be a Hall of Famer. Well-deserved, might I add.
Definitely. Teddy Long, you deserve that spot in the Hall of Fame. But one thing that I did notice was that when they did the graphic for Teddy Long, they panned out to the crowd, and there was one sign in there, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why they panned back to the graphic. So funny. This one sign just says, "I thought this was SmackDown." I thought that was just like, wow. We are resuming the brand split and the war between the brands. I love it. That just made my night. I was like, yes, love it.
I already have I'm not a big sign person, but next televised Raw or SmackDown I go to, probably honestly with me being in school, it's not going to be anytime soon. Mm-hmm. But I want to take a sign, and I wanted to say, let's not forget that Globo Gym blew a 4-on-1 man lead in the ADAA Dodgeball Tournament Championship.
Oh,
now, I have to give credit. I saw someone say that on a Facebook post, and the very first thought that popped into my head is that would be one of the funniest fucking wrestling signs. Like, if I saw that, I would die. Like, I would do that on the podcast. Like, so I was like, dude, I'm stealing this. He's like, go for it.
That'll be getting a like sign for the week for like a new segment here on our ER Elite Ringside Network. That would be amazing. So finally, we've delayed this for long enough, and I know this is going to hurt you emotionally. I know that.
Think about Bray.
The Festival of Friendship. Let's start off with the positives from this segment. It started off.
Jericho brought back one of his old button-up shirts.
Really? I didn't notice that.
No, back when he used to wear all like the sparkly button-up shirts.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, it fit for Vegas, and honestly, first thing that came out was that they had like 6 showgirls come out. Jericho's just all being happy and peppy as only Jericho can do. Kevin Owens coming out just kind of like, I don't know what to really expect with this. And honestly, I thought I was about to be livid. I'm thinking, Jericho, don't you do it. Don't you do it. He has like 2 girls on each arm. And then I was thinking, don't you do it. Don't you do it, Bobby Roode. And then I just see them just continue walking. It's like, oh, thank God. Because I actually said a tweet about that. It's like, I honestly thought that they were going to do a thing where it was going to be a hashtag Bobby invented that from his takeover entrance. Because, oh, man. But, oh, my gosh. Then we get into the gifts. The gifts of Jericho. Just drink it in, man. Oh, my gosh. I mean, Ralph Gook.
The gifts of Jericho. Open them up, man.
Well, I was about to say, he mentioned Ralph Guggenheimer. Wasn't that the guy that he mentioned before Kevin Owens and him started teaming up?
I don't remember.
I thought it was. I was thinking to myself, dude, that's a reference from when they first started being a tag team. That's awesome. But then we see that they saw this golden statue that apparently Chris Jericho paid like, what was it, like $7,000 for?
$7,000.
Jeez Louise. And then we get into, oh my God, the creation of Kevin. Just basically that picture of Jericho and Kevin Owens.
I freaking died. You didn't wear any pants, man.
I can't hang this in my house. I got kids at home, man.
You didn't wear any pants.
It's art. You don't have to worry about wearing pants. I loved that line. That was beautiful. And then there was Friendship the Magician. Oh, gosh.
Yeah, he made the list tonight because he sucked.
Well, he not only sucked, but he also got buried in like a matter of seconds by Kevin Owens. Actually, Kevin Owens buried, I think, 3 people in one night. Friendship the Magician by saying, well, my kid got one for like a cheap price, and, Pete got better shit than this.
And he's 9. You do the same trick.
Oh, man. But it evolved into Chris Jericho saying that I made it out here so that we can call out Goldberg. He said, come out here, otherwise you're going to get... And I love this because you commented on this so hard. As soon as Jericho puts his finger up, cuts to commercial break. And I thought, huh. And then he comes back. He's still in the same pose. And I'm just like, worth it. Well worth it. That is beautiful right there. I would have loved to have been there during the live Raw.
I was really confused at first. And I'm like, what the hell happened? And then when they came back, I was like, okay, I get it now. It went just like that the entire commercial break. You know this because when they came back, the crowd was chanting boring.
Oh, really? Oh, no.
Stood that way the entire fucking time.
Man. I was about to say that I would have loved to have been a part of the crowd just to see Jericho just still holding that pose for an entire 3 minutes. I would have been laughing my ass off if that was the case.
Oh, yeah. That 5-minute pose. Hashtag Jericho invented that.
Yes. The 61-minute man invented that, indeed.
Oh, yeah.
We get Goldberg's music out, but we don't necessarily get Goldberg now, do we? We get Gilberg. I was happy for that. I was like, I knew that was going to happen. I was honestly thinking he was going to bring back the midget from his feud with Goldberg back in WCW. I thought that would have been funny.
Yeah, you called Gilbert.
I said either a midget or Gilberg, and I'm like, yep, it's Gilberg. And I was totally okay with it. Kevin Owens just crushed him. Finally, Kevin Owens is just like, you know what, dude? I thought that this whole thing was to bring out Goldberg, and he just gets pissed. And Jericho just delivers this heartfelt speech about, how he was a really good friend of his, and how this last year has been like the best of his career because of Kevin Owens. The crowd loved it, and they definitely agreed with it. And
yeah, I almost feel like at the time I was like, I wonder how genuine like what he's saying right now, like how genuine he is about it. And then obviously after what happened, I was like, oh, he probably was like very genuine about that, like, you know, knowing that like he just wanting to say that publicly, like on television for everyone to see, because he obviously knew what was coming. But yeah, to like literally like just like for real say Kevin Owens like, thanks man, like what we did was awesome for this last year, and it was one of the best years of my career. And he's not wrong. Chris Jericho and Kevin Owens were one of the only, in my opinion, one of the only constant highlights on Monday Night Raw. Just every single week, I was looking forward to the Jericho segment, and yeah, so I really feel like what he said to Kevin Owens was genuine, and you know, it wasn't like, you know, it wasn't scripted or anything. It's just he was genuinely saying like, I know what's about to happen, but I want to say this first, you know.
Yeah, and we get into Kevin Owens basically saying, you know what, this has actually been great. I love you, and they both just tell him that they love each other. Nice hug, very nice. And then he said, you know, I got you something. It's not much, but you know, you're my friend, and I care about you. Blah blah blah. Gives him a nice little box, and it's a list. Jericho pulls out the list, and he asks, "Why is my name on it?" And then you see the back of it, the list of KO. And that's when reality sets in for everybody. It's like, oh no. And honestly, legitimately, I thought the first thing that Kevin Owens was going to do was just super kick Jericho's head off. But he just wailed away on Jericho, beating him down, hitting him with a power bomb on the apron, and then pulling a page out of the Shawn Michaels and Chris Jericho storyline from years ago, tossing him into what was a monitor or something like that. That was there. And honestly, right off the bat, I said to myself, you know what? There's going to be another time where somebody right now is creating this as a meme where they throw like the Titanic, you know, theme song in there. And honestly, the day that the day that happens and I see that, I will probably literally cry, because this was honestly the most I think that honestly this is going to top, I wouldn't say this is going to like top This Is Your Life with Rock and Mankind, but it's got to be high up there. It was just a well done segment. It was funny, it was entertaining, it felt real. It was just a genuinely really good segment. And the ending left.
It was a good segment, and to me, it was one. It takes me back to like HBK turning on Marty Jannetty.
Yeah, it did.
I had another one in mind that I was going to use for an example too. As far as like tag teams turning on each other, but I forgot it. But yeah, it just reminds me of like that. Or hell, you could even say Andre turning on Hogan. You know, they were best friends, and then he turned on him. But it reminded me of something like that. But I have not been this heartbroken. Shawn Michaels lost his smile.
It just was a very hard thing to watch. But, you know, in the end, it was eventually going to happen. And I think that it's going to be an ultimate payoff with a huge matchup at WrestleMania. I mean, the last time I think I remember seeing those two square off was that Madison Square Garden event. Like, I think it was 2 years ago, maybe now, if I remember correctly. Because it was when Kevin Owens was the Intercontinental Champion. I remember that much. And I think that this match at WrestleMania between Jericho and Kevin Owens, this matchup here is going to just blow that out of the water. It's going to be can't miss. And we're seeing the explosion, the breakup of Jericho.